Colin didn't talk about this in the video, but a lot of veterans talk about finding a mission in civilian life. I was wondering if you could expand on what that means. And then how do they find a mission when they come back home? And you were on a mission.
I will take that one personally. So before I went in the military, I was obviously a junior physician, and then I went into the military, and all of the things you just heard about structure and priorities and rank and all of the things that played a role for the military played a role for me. It helped me restructure my life and understand very clearly what I needed to do when I got out. And so my mission when I got out was not just to be a good doctor, but also to make sure that I could give back to my community, and I understood the value that had been ingrained in me by the military.
Thank you for sharing. Dr. Sutton, I think that's so important to have that mission, because they have one over there. You said something amazing. There's a difference between shopping at Target than being a Target, right? There's a mission, but then there's a mission coming home as well.
That's right, and I think several speakers have already identified the core importance of service. It's so, no matter what your background is coming into the service, you are all about service when you leave. And it's that structure, it's that going to the vet center, it's joining a VSO like the mission continues, it's reaching out to the VA. So many ways in which that structure can be rebuilt around that core now of service and sacrifice.
Thank you, Dr. Sutton.
Let me say one other thing. Can I say one other thing?
Of
Yes,
course, Dr.
please.
Sutton.
One of the things that makes it really hard for us as veterans in making that transition is that we've always been in a position of leadership to look out for the needs of our soldiers, for our troops. And coming out of the service, it feels selfish sometimes to think about ourselves. We're not used to it. So what may seem really simple, and why can't you do that for yourself now? We were used to doing it for other folks, and there needs to be a real transition, a shift in identity, and then a reinvestment back into the community of service.
Great point.
Oh, Dr. Sutton, you're so right. And I recall being a member of a team when I was in the military, and then having to work for myself when I got out. And so that leads me, Olga, to a very important point, I think, in that many, if not most, veterans adjust to civilian life with no problems.
That's right, Dr. Zinner, but some groups have been identified as being more likely to have a problem. According to the Pew Research Center, veterans who have had a traumatic experience related to military service or post-traumatic stress disorder were the most likely to have trouble readjusting. The group that followed were post-9/11 veterans and then combat veterans.
And it's no surprise that those with traumatic experience are the most affected.
Absolutely.